A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I would be talking about the karmic who takes his family, the masculine's family, through legal proceedings to get even with them. Okay. So now this is a very interesting channeling that has come up, and usually this is also seen in certain places, like people have spoken about it. So what is happening over here and why is it happening? Okay, so first of all, in this particular channeling session, I am being shown that two things have happened here. One is that the karmic also gets punished for what she did, but even the masculine needs to get punished for what he did. Okay, so when he was with the feminine, he had made certain commitments to her, like I will do this, I will do that, we will go here, we will go there. Maybe if not romantic commitments, he made some business commitments or work related commitments. But the feminine and masculines coming together was not for that purpose. They were in love with each other, and to solidify their relationship, or to, whatever game he was playing at that time, because we would call it a game later on. And he's obviously not in a divine masculine state. Okay, he's in the distorted masculine energies. Distorted masculines are those people who are like fallen masculines. Okay, they are not in their masculine energies, and they don't want to work on themselves. So there is no way you can tell them, okay, do inner work or do active inner work or do this, that, and they will not even care about it, because their energy doesn't match up to that information. So they'll be like, oh, come on, this is all bullshit, I don't want to do this. In some cases, it could also be possible that the masculine is 50%, he's in the divine masculine state, like he has 50% divinity in him. So when they attract each other, she could be doing some research work or active inner work, or she could be going for some spiritual getaways or something like that, and he could be very much interested in her at that point in time. But these type of things are not easy. People should know inner work is not easy. It requires discipline. It requires, very important, it requires surrender and grace. So the karmic takes masculine and his family through the punishment they deserve. Why does she do that? It's very important to understand that she is the type of person, because she is also privileged and pampered, and she is also like someone who has something going on for her. It's not her, it could be her parents' money, it could be a plastic surgery body, it could be anything, her sexual confidence, or maybe she's been with many people, she just knows how to play people. And when she sees the feminine, why she gets punished? This is very important. When she sees the feminine, I'm telling this to you guys, okay? It's very important you hear it out. She gets very jealous of her. In many cases, she's probably not even seen the feminine in person. She just looks at her pictures, or the masculine talks about her. Maybe they meet for the first time just as friends. Maybe they meet at a party and he's sitting somewhere depressed, or probably acting depressed, or he's contemplating like, my life is this and that, and they meet and they talk to each other, and she is generally talking to him, and he says, oh, I'm going through this horrible time in my relationship. And she's like, oh, what happened? And then he speaks about her. When he speaks about her, she's intrigued by this person. And she looks at the masculine as somebody who is a good catch, maybe. Or she feels that, I should get this man, okay? Somehow it's also happening because the feminine is very attached with him, and she is creating these energies around her as well. She needs to know this, and she'll know that later on. But she should not get affected by these energies. Like, she should not have the fear that someone can take away my man. Okay? She should never have this thought in her head. Because this energy that she throws out in the universe, that somebody can take him away, is the reason why she attracts the karmic. Okay? And I'm not being non-empathetic over here, because eventually it will all be a good thing. It will all turn out into a positive or an uplifting experience, learning experience for the feminine over a period of time or in due course of time. Okay, so she sort of she's shrewd and cunning over here, and she devises a plan that I'm gonna make this man feel like I'm the most wonderful woman in this world, and he's gonna forget everything about this other wonderful woman. I'm gonna be his real Wonder Woman. Okay, so he goes like, every time he talks about anything, say he talks about a spiritual experience or he talks about some adventure, he talks about her, the feminine. The feminine think that they don't talk about her at all, but they do. Okay, but every time she listens into him carefully, she realizes that I need to be either like this woman or I need to be better than her, in order to get this man's attention. So she makes her notes and she makes her points. And then she starts researching, looking up for things. And, she also has that added thing with her, which is money. One of my channeling was no money, no honey. Now that channeling will sort of be in sync with this. So he is money-minded. He comes from a money-minded, materialistic family. Somehow he got some spiritual awakening, so he's not 100% like them, but he's also not 100% like himself. And when he talks about his family to the feminine, who is going through probably some financial crisis specifically at that time only, or if not financial crisis, she could be going through some other issues in her life, okay, which are obviously connected to spiritual awakening. She doesn't know about it, she has to work on it, and nobody has supported her in her whole life, nobody has taken care of her, nobody has really stood by her. She was neglected all the time, so she carries that energy. She carries that energy in her system where people will neglect her, they will ignore her, they will not support her, they will not like her, they will present problems to her, because that is the rigid programming she carries. And rigid programming cannot go like that. It will only go via inner work or very thought therapy, okay? And this type of therapy cannot be done by most psychiatrists because they don't have any clue about the twin flame world and they are not interested in the spiritual awakening. They just got the degrees because they went to some college, some university. This whole university culture is also very negative culture. Like you go to some place, you study there for 3 years, they give you some certificate, something on the paper, and then it's proven that you are able to go out and give other people pills. So most psychiatrists and psychologists only give people pills. So you need to go to a therapist who's not going to give you pills or medication, because this problem cannot be healed by pills. It can only be healed by adhyatmikta. Adhyatmikta is spiritualism. So somebody, a therapist who is also a spiritualist, who has done studies into spiritualist and spiritual tools and techniques that heal people, they can help you out with this problem, okay? So anyway, she has to obviously go through it first, otherwise why would she even want to heal it? So then this person who has made tons of promises to the feminine otherwise, big things he would say, I'll be a better man, I'll be a nice man, please accept me. So every time he runs away and comes back to her, he gives a lot of apologies. He says, I was crazy about you, I was missing you so much, it was my ego, I was so sad. Maybe they don't even use the word ego, they just say, I was all wrong and I did not know what I was doing. So each time he comes back to her, the apology is even stronger and he attempts it even more. Like, he'll convince her, he'll go and talk to her parents, if there are any, he'll do whatever it needs to convince her to be with him. And after all this convincing, say 1 year later, 2 years later, it's still not working out. That's when he meets the karmic. That's why I gave you 5 years, 2 years, 6 years, whatever time, In some cases, it so happens that you've known a person for very long and you never were interested in them. Suddenly you started dating them one fine day and then you experienced a push and pull and you experience deep attachment, deep connection, maybe a lot of sexual intimacy or whatever it was, and then it starts creating problems for you, and then you look up for it and you find out that you could be experiencing a twin flame dynamic with someone, and you're like, oh my god, what is this twin flame? I didn't even know about it. And you start studying about it and you start watching videos. So you always have stations. You'll go to certain type of people who are making content during those initial days. Okay. So Karmic acts very smart and over smart actually, and she manages to get the man. And when she manages to get the man, initially it's like beautiful because, she feels very successful. Those who had confronted the feminine, the feminine said some things to them and she could not take it, and she decided that very moment that I'll take away the man from her and I will teach her a lesson. And if, say, the feminine has said, you can never take him away from me, he will come back to me again because he keeps doing that and he'll do it again. Or he will do something that will, break your confidence. You will not have what you have, and what you want to have. And she goes like, yeah, whatever, I'll see. So that makes her, want to keep him even more. It's like a competition. It's like an unhealthy competition with someone you don't even know. But that person's energy is so annoying and so triggering and so challenging. And this is the same thing that the masculine has also felt, like it's a challenge. Sometimes she'll present challenges to him. Like, you have to be better, you have to do this. So he sort of finds some kind of solace and peace in the Karmic, who is not challenging him. On the contrary, she's standing by him, she's supporting him. She's not telling him that you're not a this man or a that man. Instead, she's saying, you're my Prince Charming, you're my man, you're this, you're my king, and I'll keep you happy. But she's also not doing it because she really feels that way. She's just saying it because she looks at the feminine as a diva, and she feels that if this diva is crazy for this donkey, then this donkey must also be something great. I need to get this donkey to me. She doesn't really put her head into it at that point in time. The donkey has still not turned into a horse. Okay, it's not his time yet. So she gets overexcited and she wants him now. Anyway, she gets him, and later on she starts realizing that, he's not even into her. He's difficult to deal with, he's difficult to be with, he's difficult to please. He may not act difficult in the very beginning for 6 months, 7 months, 1 year, because even he's in those energies, running and chasing. Now he wants to rest. He any which way was resting for a long time, but now he wants to think in his head that he wants to rest. He doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to do anything at all, whatever the feminine has been saying. He finds it all like too much hard work, can't do it. I just want to be like lazy. I just want to enjoy. He wants his whole life to be a vacation. So universe says, okay, dear, let's take you for a vacation. Now he's in a vacation. Imagine if you want to, like, you have a job, you have a life, you have everything, and you want to take a vacation, okay? So you'll take a vacation for how long? 3 days, 4 days, a week, 15 days. What if you have to literally be on vacation from that point onwards, and you can't go back to your life? You can't go back to your family members, you can't go back to your children, you can't go back to your work, and maybe for a few days, first 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, it will look nice. But later on, you spend more and more time, the vacation will start eating you up. And again, I'm speaking from my own experience because I have tried everything out. What is going to be, the best thing to do. After a point, that vacation will start eating you up, because vacation is also sort of running away, Nothing wrong with taking a break or vacations, but most people, if you look around you, when they go for a vacation, they say, feeling free, feeling amazing, feeling awesome. Tell them to extend the vacation for 10 more days or 15 more days. They'll start getting irritated because everything that they had to see in a new place, they would have already seen it, in the first day or the second day or the third day. Then there's nothing left to see. Then they will start missing their old life, their friends, their family, their job, their pet. And they would be like, I want to go back, I want to go back, I want to go back. And this is what happens with the masculine. This extended vacation becomes hell for him because it gets too extended, okay? All he thought was he was running away, as he always used to do. He's already done 6-7 cycles of running away, and every time he ran away, he came back crying, begging, for forgiveness, to take him back. So he forgets that. So universe says, let him get a more permanent lesson and a more permanent experience so that he will not run next time. Next time when he wants to run, he will think 1,000 times before running. 1,000 times before he runs away. He will think, and he will be scared to run away. He will see like this running away is actually hell for me. So how will that happen, my friends? That cannot happen just like that. And it's the karmic, because she's pissed off with him too. She thought he's an amazing man. He's some great man. Like, you know what? This girl, this beautiful, good looking, maybe skilled, talented, amazing woman loves this man. He must be amazing. But when she starts living with him, she can see the flaws, and she's herself in immature energies. She's herself spiritually immature. So how's she gonna handle him? She can handle him for some time, but not forever. Then she has to become his mother. And then, the mother will come in the picture. All the other toxic feminines will come in the picture. They'll all become, one team. First they will torture him together. He'll get tortured by all of them. And then he'll also start realizing that, she was right. My feminine was right. She told me that these people don't love you. These people will not support you. They are just spoiling you. They just want you to be in their periphery. They just want you to be enslaved to them. You can't be free here. You got to step out. You got to do something. You got to heal. You got to work on yourself. Only then, you can be free. He doesn't listen to that. So it has to happen with him properly. And it also has to happen with all those people who got him separated from the feminine. All those people who plotted and planned against their breakup, who were like, good riddance, let her go away, she's a psycho, she's a crazy person. All of them have to get the taste of their own medicine. So the karmic will first torture him, and then he will run to his mommy. He will go, mommy, please save me, mommy. And mommy will have to save him, because mommy also has spoiled him a lot. So she tries to save him due to her excessive attachment as well. In fact, they all are playing a stupid game with each other. They all play this stupid game for a long time, and eventually the karmic is like, what, I will go back to my old life also, because for her this vacation costed her a lot. Maybe she invested money in his business which did not work out at all. Just God's hand, God's hand. It did not work out. The business was a loss. So she's like pissed off about that. I put in money, I put in time, I gave him sexuality, I gave him commitment. Some of them literally go so crazy trying to take revenge from an unknown woman. They marry that man, they marry that man, and now they have the stamp of the marriage on their forehead. And now they have to clear that out. And in all of this, sometimes the karmic realizes that she was not even in love with him. She probably loved someone else, and she wanted that, now she wants someone else, It was a mistake. But she has to teach him a lesson, and she has to teach all of those people a lesson. Why? Because they deserve it. They deserve it, and she will give it to them, So the best way to teach people lesson is through legal procedures. Slap a case, just complain, register a case, put them through those series of problems. So if you look at the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case also, it is interesting because it was first the karmic who puts him into all the problem, She sort of tortures him and defames him. And if I look at Johnny Depp, I see more of feminine, masculine, feminine energy in him, which makes him very twin flame material for some reason. So when he gets back into his full power energy, now that he's very confident, especially after Winona Ryder's statement, like Winona Ryder's name keeps popping up even in the case today. Like today means the current scenario. Like she was in his life so many years ago, and Amber Heard is like 23 years younger to him, and look at the kind of mind she has. The whole world can see through her lies. She's such a liar. She's a good actress. She even used bruise kits, to create bruises on her face so that she could get him troubled, arrested or whatever, take money from him. That's a hardcore psycho for you, for everyone. Now, we don't know her story. So, I don't know what she's gone through in her past, that would be interesting to know. But if you look at the whole setup, it's all being done for money and nothing else, So, here in the masculines and the feminines and the karmic case, the one that I'm channeling right now, she is going to take revenge from him by hook or by crook because she is upset with him for wasting her time. And most importantly, she is upset, because the feminine is winning. She told her that. Why don't you keep him? Why don't you keep him and enjoy with him? Then you will understand that what I'm going through. You have no idea what you are getting yourself into. And any which way, if the confrontation also doesn't happen, she knows, as I told you, she always knows about the feminine. Most karmics know about the feminine. And it also pisses them off, it also hurts them that now I'm stuck with this immature man who doesn't even love me, who's still thinking about his ex, who keeps stalking his ex, who keeps checking on his ex, or there will be things, developments, like he won't have sex with her maybe, or he would not be the same, he would ask for time, and she doesn't want to give time. Feminine would give time. Every time he would say, I can't meet you, I can't talk to you, she'll be like, okay. But karmic can't do that, and they are living together under the same roof and with all that negative energy and constant pleasing. She has to please him, and she is the one who needs the pleasing. She wants to be pleased by someone, and here she has to please this man. So she gets really worked up, really irritated, doing all of this and never getting a thank you or never getting anything back. And there are more demands. There are more and more demands. So she is going to punish them, and when they get punished by her, they will also get their answer, First they think, the karmic is loving me, she's better person, she's a nice woman, she has more money, she has a hot body or whatever. And later on, when he starts finding her unattractive, he'll start getting irritated with all of that, the same body, what is this? I don't find her attractive at all. He doesn't find her beautiful. He doesn't want to sit next to her. He doesn't want to talk to her. He's and then there could be pressure of having children. So many things happen, with him that he cannot fake it anymore. So he'll always make excuses to run away because running away is in nature. So this ultimate running away is very much required, okay? So they don't understand their mistakes. The masculine and his whole jing bang, they don't understand that they are wrong. They were wrong with the feminine and they're wrong with the karmic also in many ways, okay? But the karmic, she's not going to leave this. She's not going to let it go. Not this time, okay? And because it's her life. She played with her life. She played with the fire. She got burnt. She dressed up her wounds. Now she wants to burn them too. That's what she wants to do, So this is what this channeling is all about. And they will go through a lot of shame, humiliation, public humiliation. All the relatives are going to laugh at them. They're going to say, yeah, we knew how you are. And that girl was so nice. Those people who know the feminine, they would be like, she was so nice, but these people played around with her. And maybe they've always done this. Maybe they've always used women or other men. Maybe, the feminines. So you have to understand, if the masculine is acting like this with the feminine, probably the other women, maybe the mother, sister, all the ladies, some of them, I'm not talking about all of them, some of them who are close to him, they do the same thing. They use men for money. Like they won't marry a poor man or an average man. A man who works, goes to the job, earns, say, $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. They won't marry him because he doesn't earn that much, his salary is not so much. So they want someone who can make them $50,000 or $10,000 a month. So they also look for a very rich man. It's all about money. For karmics, it's always about money. Money is the factor that runs their life. And for them, money is not even an energy. They see money as cash. So by hook or by crook, by using their sexuality, by using fake love, they are also hypnotized. So they also need to get the slaps on their face that will wake them up. If your time is not there yet, it hasn't come yet, it hasn't started yet, many things will not happen, because the universe wants you to do other things, certain important things. They want you to clear out those things. So sometimes, you're trying to get into a routine real bad, like you really want to get into that routine so that you can mend your life, fix your life, but that routine doesn't happen. You put the alarms, you put everything, but it doesn't work out for you. And then you realize, it is related to something else. But then how will you find that it is related to something else? Then it will be your conviction. The more and more you will have the conviction, the more and more universe will help you to clear those blocks. Okay? So here, basically, when the masculine made commitments and promises to the feminine, he was like initially obviously very much attracted with her, very much fond of her. He wanted her attention, so he was pursuing her, and there's a certain enigma about it. So feminines carry this enigmatic energy, which means that they are somewhat mysterious in nature. You don't know what they are thinking or doing, and then they are so different from other people. Their nature is not the same as other people. They may be chasing the masculine later on, but technically they don't chase people like that. They've not chased. That's why, when they are chasing someone so badly, or when they are so obsessed with someone, they don't know why that's happening. Why can't they stop thinking about this person? So they start Googling about it, they start researching about it, and eventually they find out that, it's because of this twin flame something, and then that's how they find out about twin flames, because they are not able to get over this person. In other scenarios, in other cases, they would easily get over a person. They would forget about anyone easily. They have moved on from many other relationships. But why can't they move on from this person? So the reason is because this person is going to lead them to something very important. And till the time they don't find out what that important thing is, they cannot get over this person. The actual detachment process happens later on. It does happen, for some people it happens and they have mentioned about it. And there are so many testimonies, online testimonies on this subject, I could not detach, and then eventually I figured it out. I did my inner work and then I detached, and then even inner work starts working for you. Otherwise, you're like, as long as you're attached deeply to a person, you can't think straight. You can't see their flaws. Even if the flaws are big and they're right on your face, you can't see it. You'd like to ignore it. But when you start working on yourself, as soon as you do therapy work, you yourself say this wasn't even my twin, this wasn't even my man, this wasn't even my guy, and what the hell, I wasted so much time. But let me tell you, time is not getting wasted. Actually, it is taking you to somewhere. Eventually it will be worthwhile, but keep doing the inner work and stay focused. And you just need to understand why you're here on this planet Earth. And once you figure it out, even if you figure out the main thing, it's okay if you don't even get the whole picture. Okay, so now he made all those promises, he did this, he said that, all the love bombing, all the romantic things that we'll be together, we'll live together, we'll go here, we'll go there. And she's like, oh, that's so nice, sure. And she creates a dream around it, like a dream world around it. She creates a palace on the clouds, okay, and she's very sure about that this palace will work out. However, with time, he starts losing interest, or it's actually his ego. Technically, even that guy doesn't forget the feminine. The reason why he punishes her so bad is because he's taking some kind of revenge from her. That why she said this to me, why she said that to me, his ego. So he will also learn on the way this ego is bullshit. Okay, he'll learn that. And so much he does to pamper this ego, to care for this ego. He's doing everything, But later on, the same ego will put him into a big trouble, and that's how he will learn his lesson. And believe you me, every time he gets an epiphany, he will think about her. very deeply, but it's the ego that will not let him step up and do anything. And guys and girls, all of those people who are very desperate to get a contact or a message, because I see in the comment section a lot of times people are writing, come back to me, please call me, please message me. I see those messages. It's not that I'm judging those people for writing those messages, but I honestly feel that that is a high degree or high level of chasing, even in the mental world. I mean, you guys can write everything you want to, because even that helps you. Even writing all those things, whatever you feel, helps you. But I still want to give this sort of an advice, because you are on this channel, so I want to give this advice, that think about the whole picture first, okay? Think, why are you calling that person again and again? Why do you want them back? There has to be a valid explanation behind it, and look for the most practical explanation. Why do you want this person? Is this because this person is really good? Is this because this person really loved you, really treated you well, gave you that respect you needed? Did you make the mistake? Were you the one who sent them away? So are you in guilt and shame? Is that why you're calling them back again and again? Or are you calling them back again and again because you feel that, you can't live without them, you can't do anything without them, you can't exist without them? So then you need to ask the question, what were you doing before you met them? How was your life like before they came into your life? And what has changed, and what has it taken away from you? These people, the masculine collective I'm talking about, what have they taken away from you that is hurting you so badly? You need to ask all these questions to yourself. Why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? Like 5 points, 5 reasons why are you waiting for them? Or 5 points, why do you want them back so badly? Or in some cases, maybe they are back with you, you talk and you are trying to harmonize with each other, you're trying to communicate with each other, but you're not like 100% sure about them. You don't still know, like, what, this person came back to me after all this time has passed by, they apologized to me, but why is my heart not yet sure about it? Why am I not 100% that, everything is okay? Ask these questions, like, what is that reason that troubles you so much? This behavior of masculine, as per the channeling now, that, he runs away when he thinks it's difficult to deal with the feminine, she's too intense, or she starts depending on him a lot sometimes, I feel that. So he doesn't understand that. Instead of getting angry and upset about this whole journey or experience you're having, you need to take a deep breath and just first understand that what is your role in this. Okay, fine, he ran away, but nobody runs away like that. No, there is a big reason when people run away. It's not a tiger that you see, or it's not a dinosaur that you see that you want to run away. Maybe it is bigger than a dinosaur. What could it be? So you need to think about that from your end, that what was my role in making him run away. That's one thing. Now, we all know that there is a certain innocence that the feminine has or had with this person. She did whatever she could. It was always a bit difficult in some cases, and especially when you see a karmic situation like this, where a marriage takes place, or where, he's dating someone in front of you, he doesn't care about your feelings at all and things like that. And if, they contact you also, it's for a booty call, or it's for when they're depressed, when they have a fight with that other karmic, then they call you up and they're like, oh, I love you, I miss you, I wish we could be together. And then you say, so why don't you leave her just the way you left me? You can leave her also. No, I can't leave her, she needs me, she depends on me, blah blah blah. So these type of conversations, when the feminine has with him, she doesn't know what to say, she doesn't know what to say. But now, in this situation, now I don't know if some of you are in communication or not, but I'm being shown that at least 50% of these type of masculines do contact, again and again. But after certain time, they will not contact as it right away, but they'll take some time. And they are very much interested in the feminine, but they have such a strong ego, and they have this whole sexual energy going on. So they can never see how beautiful she is as a person, how nice she is as a person. So the niceness he sees in her is basically, like she's a fool. It's like that foolish thing they see in her, that I can make a fool out of her. She's very gullible, she's very dumb, she loves me a lot. Like how, some guys, they talk to their friends, oh, that girl, oh, she's crazy about me, she can do anything, I can make her do anything for me. That much confidence they project about themselves, that I can make this woman dance naked for me, they think like that. So even if I'm married or even if I'm dating someone, she will still come to me. And they talk about it, with other people, and they do this conversation in their own heads as well. It's only when, in some cases, feminine tells them to get lost, when he calls her again, say they were dating for 5 years. An example, okay? 5 years, whatever number you can give. Your own number also, 2 years, 3 years. Whatever experience you've had, okay? They've dated for this much time, and while they were dating, they were proper together. She was also showing him off to family members or relatives, or she was talking about him to her friends and things like that. So maybe some of them were sharing pictures and some of them were like kind of close with each other. So then what happened, what happened that it got so bad, It's just that the masculine was not willing to work on himself. He was not willing to accept his mistakes. And another important thing is his family, okay? His family, his friends, whosoever is around him, surrounding him, all of them have some mental issues. They have some ego problems. They have some toxicity. So the toxicity also needs company, And they back him up. They back him up because they don't like the feminine's energy. They don't like that pure innocence, goodness. And even I learned this in my life, because when I was a kid or when I was growing up, I was extremely nice to people. And then in one of the discourses, my master said that you don't have to be so nice. And when my master said it, it was like a wow moment, a eureka moment for me, because I was literally questioning myself and my life and everything. And I was always asking this question, what do I get in return for being so good and nice to people? Like, I'm always doing things for others. I'm caring for others. I am taking care of other people's business. I'm taking care of other people's children and life. And even my best friends, so-called best friends back then, who I knew for so long, I was just a dumping station for them, where they would just speak about their problems constantly. I was like a place, where they would come to relax, basically. They would bitch about everyone. They would talk about everyone. They would speak about everything. Sometimes they would spend 2 days with me, and then they will go back very fresh, and I would feel very drained. And there would be no thank you. And there would be no feeling, like this person could also be in trouble. So I remember I cut out all these people from my life. All of them, And this happened in 2016, just the time when my father had passed away. I realized that there were two types of people, around me at that time. One who I did not know for that long. Maybe I met them through spiritual interventions and communions. But they were present. They were from different countries, in fact, and they were present at his rites and rituals. But those people who had been hanging around with me for such a long time, for so many years, they didn't bother, they didn't care as such. They came in like, it was a formality. And one of the person, which really pissed me off, actually there were 2 to 3 of them, it really affected me, is because I had been their agony aunt for so long, like for so many years. So many years, I was just done with it, sick and tired of it. Being their agony aunt, And this is the time when I really needed, somebody. I never asked for anyone to help me out. I had never gone up to anyone, walked up to anyone. But things changed, because this was like the biggest soul shock I got. And it just, the pain and the grieving and the crying and all the emotions, I think it just put me into a very, like a rocket fuel with the most powerful gases, it just takes you like into the straight away into the space. And once you're into the space, once you find your space, once you get into everything starts falling in place. So it's easier for you to make those decisions. So I literally told some of them after few days that you guys are the shittiest people I've known. You are the most selfish people I have known. Like, you have been, draining my energy for years now. And you could not be present for me for once. And one of the girl who used to call me her best friend, she actually went on a holiday. And she came to my house for like an hour or so or some time, and then she says, I'm so sorry, but the tickets were booked in advance and we need to go for, like, if I was in her place, actually I don't blame her. She had to go out with her family, and she said that, I've been waiting for this vacation for a long time, I cannot cancel it. But this is the test of human emotions, and this is the test of friendship. Like, if I was in her place, in fact, I actually did hang out with her a lot because she never had a father. That was one sympathetic connection I had with this person, because she told me, I don't have a father since childhood. My mother raised me alone. So instantly, I connected myself with her and I started hanging out with her, and she was never really a good friend. She would always be around me when she needed me. Every time she would fight with her boyfriend, she would come to me. Every time she would have some issues, she would come. Every time it was always something to do with her problems, and her problems never ended. And I'm 100% sure even today it would be the same thing, because I did it for so many years. I knew it. So eventually, that is the time when I shifted. It was an instant shift, like it was crazy, because before my father's death, I was doing a silent retreat and I was into deep meditation for over a month. When we say deep meditation, it means like you actually do nothing whole day but just meditate. You start at 4:30 in the morning and you finish at 10 in the night. 10:30 is when the discourses end. In between you get like 1 hour break for lunch, and you don't even eat dinner, because as an old student you eat only one meal in a day. One proper meal, and one is your breakfast, which is not that heavy either. But your body gets trained to it and you get very healthy. I was feeling very healthy during those days, and then I decided to continue that, type of work in my life also, like not eat dinner very late, or, not eat so much junk food. If you want to eat pizza maybe once in 15 months or 15 days or something, maybe a month, I don't know, there is no hard and fast rule for these things, but somehow automatically it happens. Like certain food habits change, like eating non-veg would go away, drinking, if you drink alcohol, it would go away. It will automatically happen. It's not something that you really plan out. When it has to happen, it will happen. Okay? So then I messaged all those people, all those girls who were just using me as a, like a dumping ground. I literally messaged them. I confronted them and I told them that from now onwards I won't be present in your life anymore. And they asked me why, and I told them exactly this is the reason. You are not present. In fact, this is one girl, she went away for a vacation. When she came back, she again contacted me. Hey, how are you? I have this bad migraine. I have to go to the doctor. My family members are so this and that. And I said, oh really? I said, I don't care about you. I don't give a fuck about you. I literally said that, and then I told her everything, and then I said, I'm done with you. That's it. After that, we never really spent time. And she didn't even reach out to me. See, this is the thing about narcissistic people, that she didn't reach out to me as such. She reached out once or twice, and then again she was trying to tell me how happy she is, and I was like, yeah, I know how happy you are. They never apologize. They never mend it. They will not mend a relationship where somebody was doing things for you for 10 years and they go through a very bad tragedy and they realize that you're never there for them. So if you really love a person, you're going to fix it. You're going to mend it, right? If that's the case. Like even feminines do it. When the masculines run away, why do they message them so much? Or why do they call them so much? Or why do they convince them so much? Because they try to fix it. They try to tell them that, this misunderstanding happened because of my mistakes also, probably your mistakes also, but it can be fixed. So listen to me, my darling, we'll fix it out, because I do love you. And he keeps saying, no, you don't love me, no, you don't love me, no, you don't love me. But the other person will be saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then you can't do much about it. Another friend, I'll talk about it for sure. She was the type of person that she would go out a lot, she would drink a lot, she would have a lot of one night stands. Not judging her, must have been a phase. But I knew her since like a very young age. I knew her since I was 16. I've known her for really long. And she always was in problems. There was no time when she was not in a problem. It was always about the men and the, people, how people treat her bad. She was always like a victim. And for most divine feminines, this is one big lesson that you need to learn, where you have to identify who's an actual victim and who's not. Okay? So because we have this innate nature of healing people and helping people out, we just go and help just about anyone, just about anybody we start helping. We don't research, and we don't even see that how much are they doing for me, like, I'm not saying that love has to be only about give and take, but you need to also give to those people who really need it. Otherwise, it's literally like feeding a person whose stomach is full. Okay, you can't feed them. Or it is like they just pretend to be hungry and they take whatever resources you have, and you don't have anything left in you. So this one used to call me like every day, and every day I had to talk to her. Whether I have to sleep or not, that did not affect her. Whether I have work next day and I'll have to wake up in the morning and I have to drive down to work and I need energy for that, that won't matter to her. If I would be having my own things to do and to go somewhere, still I have to make her my priority. So this went on for many years, and the same time when my father passed over, when I think my awakening just boosted. I was already doing inner work for so many years. I've been doing inner work in my childhood also. At that time I did not know that I was doing inner work, but I was extremely interested in the metaphysical domain, and all my time actually did go in wanting to ascend. So of course I find it funny also. As a child I was deeply into inner work, and then teenage, puberty, friends, blah blah blah, all that happened, and then it took a back seat. And then again after some time I decided that I will do what I love doing as a child. So my father's death was a biggest soul shock for me. And three of my dogs when they passed away one by one, their deaths and his passing over, they've played an important role. And also when my master passed over, when he left his physical body, even that was a big soul shock for me. And this happened like much before. So before, in fact, 2012, 11, I wrote the book. I met him. He really loved it. I was very shocked. But then later on, when he passed over. So sometimes I have noticed this in twin flames, when they lose someone very important. It could be a pet, it could be a parent, it could be a friend, it could be someone very close to them, even a grandparent. They get a soul shock, and then they start questioning reality. Like everything they question at that point in time. So the more important the person for you, the bigger the soul shock is going to be. Or you could say that, you have a whole life, you live a whole life with them, misunderstanding them, and when they die or when they pass over, suddenly you get a download, or you just, because they are in their purest form, they are in the soul form, astral form, they enter the astral body. So you also, realize something, and they, while leaving their body, they also will give you something in return. They'll give you, some knowledge or some information, because maybe they love you a lot, you did not know that. You were so busy living your life and doing your things. You were like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. So for me, it was horrible that I was doing inner work so deeply. I was all, away. I was in silence. And just after that, he passes over. Like, what type of a reward did I get for inner work? That was my question. Similar questions people ask, when the masculine runs away, or, the false twin runs away, or the karmic. Karmic is still, I think feminines can handle karmics well, and they usually do. Not I mean, masculines can't do that well, so they go through this type of punishment. Usually it is the feminine. In her case, she dumps the karmics. Usually she leaves them, like she's done with them, it expires. The relationship expires and she moves on. And the karmics also contact again and again. Sometimes they don't let go that easily, so the feminine has to be like, you know what, this person, please go away. They have to like literally tell them bye bye. So all this happens, and all of us are supposed to meet karmics, the twin flame, the soulmates, the walk-ins sometimes, the narcissists, a lot of them, I think, the empaths. We need to meet some bad people also in this journey. The karmic basically gives them a slap on their faces, a tight slap on their faces, which wakes them up. Because their fascination for money, their attachment for money, their madness for money, they don't see money as an energy. They just see it as a source of happiness. The more money I have, the happier I will be. And it's not like they're happy too, but it's the money that keeps them going. So all the females in his life, the masculine's life, they're all money minded. They all go after men who have money, or people who have money, they're very nice to them. So he picks it up from them. And feminines, sometimes feminines have money. They have money, trust me, but they don't know it themselves, or they don't care about it. So they don't have that show off element in them. They would probably buy a bicycle than buy a car if it's not needed, or they will probably eat salads and not eat anything fancy because they feel that it's not healthy for them. But they might think like, oh, she's buying that food item because it's cheaper. So the karmic is going to teach them, and she will teach them. She is teaching them as per the channeling. It could happen to someone right away. It could be happening to someone. It could be, it's also timeless reading that probably you go through it when you get into it. And this change also happens because of the feminine, and I'll tell you how. Because the feminine is also surrounded by a lot of people who are fake and not really, they don't care for her, they don't really love her as such. They are just friends who are there to drain her, or family members who are to drain her, or peers who are there to drain her. So she also realizes, she also learns, and I'm going to give you some of my personal examples here. So all feminines, as soon as they start cutting out this toxic feminine energy around them, it will show an impact, it will mirror in the masculine's life. So when he gets punished by the karmic, then he realizes it. So he has to get punished by the karmic. The karmic is going to, so either it will be a punishment for the karmic, because as long as she's going to put up with him, she's going to get punished. And one fine day she will realize, she'll compare her life with the feminine, and she'll realize that the feminine's problem is now her problem, and she needs to get rid of this problem, because the feminine is very happy. The karmic has to get rid of this problem, she feels very strongly, because as long as, or ever since this problem is now passed on to the karmic, she's very unhappy. She feels like, maybe 1 year was nice, or maybe they also had problem in the relationships right from the very beginning. They were also red flags. But she was so crazy, she was so stupid at that time, just to compete with the feminine. Instead of actually becoming friends with the feminine and siding with her, she decides to go against her. She decided to go against her. Okay, that was a big mistake, which she realizes when she has to put up with the torture that he gives her on and off. Like, she feels he's never loving to her, and whatever he says, he's probably saying it just for the heck of it. And initially maybe it felt nice, 6 months it was okay, because she feels that she's got the ultimate commitment. But what after that? Because unlike most movies and TV shows where they end the story, like happy ending is when boy and girl gets married, but actually married or engaged, or they just confess to each other, or they find love again, they fight with all the villains, and now they are united. So the movie ends right there. But in real life, the movie starts from there, and then you realize what are the problems that you need to face, and how you're supposed to work out a relationship. So step by step, she's going to figure it out, and she's going to put them in a very bad situation, a very bad space. They will all go through it, and That's how it is going to be. So this is where I pause this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me and being a part of it. And thank you for doing active inner work. I really appreciate every single person out there who is putting their life, contributing in the inner work. And people, if you resonate with the channelings, then do let other people know, because there are lots of people in this journey who have been feeling very lonely and left out, and as if they are the only ones who are having this experience. Through your comments, you can give support to other people also. And yes, you can also support this content by clicking on super thanks and using it. And yes, you can also show support and love to this content by clicking on the super thanks button that YouTube has recently introduced for all the content creators and the people who love to listen to daily content or regular content. I will see you soon in another one. One love and peace out.